Hello, it's Kerry from Mobilates with you here on actually a little bit of dry weather, which in Devon is a rarity these days, and I don't think I'm going to see it for a few more days. It's going to go again shortly. I hope you're okay wherever you are and whatever the weather in the country, because it is a bumpy times, lots of stuff going on. And if you've been adversely affected, oh God, I hope you're getting out of it soon, because there's lots of flooding and all sorts of things going on. Hopefully you are safe in your living room or your exercise space or wherever you are. Shall we get moving? Shall we start with giving our hands a little rub? And I'll just welcome any newbies. I'll welcome any regulars. And if you're somewhere in between or you're here on the catch up, welcome, welcome. We didn't do a usual session last week. We did our little mini snack break, exercise snack sessions. Right, they're all the same, aren't they? Little snippets of exercise. And I hope you looked around Virtual Village Hall and we're trying some of the different things. There were some amazing, particularly dance things I was very drawn to. I'm going to go back and revisit over the weekend. But we're on a Pilates style session, seated, standing, lying down. Any of those will work. Could do this from your bed, sitting on the edge of your bed, lying on your bed. Could you give your feet a little wipe whilst you're rubbing your hands? We're just trying to get everything a little bit warmer, a bit more sensation through. And then place your feet downwards. You could give your toes a little wriggle. You'll notice I'm looking at my toes. I can't feel my feet very well at the moment. So I'm just checking they're still there. And I've got my feet a little wider. If you are sitting, put your hands on your chest and wiggle and grow taller. If you're standing, put your arms outwards a little for a bit of extra balance, and you could be touching something like the sides of the chair. As you now rock a little forwards and a little backwards, feel the changes in your feet. A gentle tension on the belly. It's like you've gone in some cool water, not super cold, but cool, and your belly's going, not sure about this. So it's got this gentle tightening on it. And then find that space in the middle. So you're neither forwards on your feet or backwards on your feet. You're somewhere in between the forwards and the backwards feeling. And then let your arms come down, rest on your thighs if you're sitting, have a little wiggle, and bring your legs a little closer together so they're in a parallel sort of position. And we can soften the knees if we are standing. You can wiggle up on your sit bones on your bum if you're sitting. And we're going to go in a little circle with our pelvis. I'll up my hands on my hips for this. So you can see the sort of creases on my top, and I'll give you the side view. So it's like you are hula hooping. And then we're going to take it the other way. So I'm just going to check on. I haven't put my comments on to see the regular. Oh, hello, Irene. Hello, Christine. I thought I was missing something there. I couldn't see things happen. My bad there. Now, could you bring your arms down and place your palms by your sides, your hands by your sides even, your palms to the back. Could you open out and then turn back? Now, when we open out, we often think about our hands opening out, but I'd like you to open from here, this armpit sort of area. So it's like you're trying to show the inside of your sleeve. Open out and hold it there. And now give your head a turn side to side. And then back to face the front. Let the arms go. Have a little wriggle. We're going to open out again. This time we're going to do a roll. I'm going to roll side to side. If you like rolling around in a circle, you could do that. If you like something smaller, like a little nose circle, you could do that. And then to let it go. And now we're going to move our shoulders, a little bit of a bigger movement now, more of a circling. You could do one side and then the other. That's it. I'm going forwards and backwards. We tend to do quite a lot of backwards here, but it's good to change direction. And then we're going to bring our hands towards our shoulders, just giving little taps there. It's almost like a little bicep curl, but we haven't got a tight fist. And then just resting our hands somewhere here. I'm just turning my hands a little now, so my thumbs are here. And I'm going to open out and in. So as I open out, I'm making a sort of W shape. You can see that sort of W there. And then I'm bringing my hands and arms closer together. Now, if your chest projects more at the front, it's a bit of a squisher. You might need to go higher up. I'm quite flat chested, so I've got quite a lot of space there, but if you've got a bigger chest, you don't want it to be really squashy, so you might have to sneak a little higher up for this one. And then take it down. Oh, give your shoulders another little wriggle. Now we're going into our feet, checking that they're parallel again. Arms somewhere out to the side, little mini heel raises, just little ones. This is, I think, a bit like you're inflating something, you know, if you have to puff, if you blow a tire up and you're using like a pump and you're pressing the pump and the air's going in. So feel like you're almost inflating your body and growing taller as you do it. So quite fast, but quite low down. So it's not wiggle wobble ones, lower and steadier. Now one foot, then the other. Your arms can change position, almost like you're going on a little walk. I'm going to show you in seated as well. I get my opposite arm to leg, it always throws me. And then back to the doubles. Now you might go a little higher. Could you bring your arms up a little, like you're scooping the air? And then we'll take them a bit higher and push out to the sides. So up as the heels come up, just hold them there. And then push out to the sides in standing. Up. And then pushing out to the sides. If that feels too wobbly, maybe just do the arms. And we're going to do one more. And then let all that go. And move your feet like you've taken a step. One forwards, one back. And just have a little rock forwards and back. If you're sitting, you'll have forwards here. This is your back one under the chair, and you'll be on a bit of your foot, like the front part of your foot. Hold the sides of the chair and just move a little forwards and back. I'll do a few little rocks like that. If you're doing this standing, move through your feet a little bit here, heel toe, and then reversed. Now, as you're doing it, could you let your legs go a bit closer together? So the same distance away from each other, but the width between them gets narrower until it's almost like you're on a tight rope. Now I'm looking ahead, but I bet, there's some of you looking down. If that feels safer at the moment, keep looking downwards. If you think, okay, I'm quite steady now, see if you can send your gaze straight ahead. I had to pause there. And you can see my arms have come out to the sides. And if you're doing this seated, you end up with your legs so close together, almost one foot crossed over in front. And then come back, take your legs apart, have a little side-to-side wriggle. We're going to repeat on the other side. Very much a balance exercise, even in seated. So we start with this natural gap and like we've taken a step. And then we take the legs a little closer together and closer. And if you're seated, there'll be this almost like little crossover. One's almost over the other one. And it feels quite wibbly. I'm almost getting up off my chair, but not quite. If I'm doing this in standing, I'm on that tightrope with the other foot in front. You could even move your feet closer to each other. So it's almost heel toe. Wobbly, wobbly. I'm growing really tall with this. There's a bit more tension going into my belly area. And let it go. Oh, well done, everybody. Well done. Right, next, wider apart. Feet pointing outwards. We are going to put our hands in the hip creases and send the bum back. And then send it forward. Send the hips back. This bit here, this hip area. Send it back. Now from the side, I really like doing this when there's something to aim for. Oh, that was probably lower than I thought it was. I need to get a bit closer. That's better. That's what I'm going for. So it's a bit like if you're in the kitchen, it's the top drawer, maybe it's the cutlery drawer, and you give it close with your bum, or a car door that just needs a little extra bump. If you're seated, you can bring your feet back a little bit so they're slightly under your knees. If that's uncomfortable, just take them back to where they were. And we're lowering our chest towards our knees here. And now I'd like you to put your hands on the front of your legs. Come forwards and take one arm and just wave it around like it's on a table and it's just clearing a space. And then bring it back, bring yourself up, a little wiggle. I'll do the next one standing. Hand on the leg, the arms going around. Now, if you have osteoporosis or osteopenia or any conditions where rotation of the spine is limited, keep this small. So this arm's just making like a small sort of arc. If you haven't, and it's comfortable to move your spine in more directions, more twisty and turny. See, I'm going a little bit further. So you've got to consider your range of movement and then bring your hand back. We're supporting ourselves here with our hands. Straight up. Well done. Right. Now we're going to do slightly different movement. This one is more like you're sitting down on something really low, like a low chair or a low stool. So I'm going to put my hands here, or you could also put your hands, if I turn my chair around, if you like a bit of support in standing, put your hands on a chair and sit yourself down like you're about to sit on a chair. Oh, and you've changed your mind. You're about to sit down and then up you come. If you're doing this seated, you could let your bum, if I show you from the side, let your bum just leave the chair a little bit. Oh, change your mind, up I go, down I go. So up, little bit of room under there, and then down. It might be less than that, it might be like this. So my thighs all go tight, I can feel it down my legs, into my feet. And I go down. And one more. And then with that same wider leg position, if you're sitting, could you give your hands a slide, one up one leg, one down the other. If you are standing, we're going to turn our hips with our arms and our chest, so the whole body moves. And then we're going to take it down to a lying down position or sitting back in your chair. So I'm going to move things around. I'll show you seated from the sofa. I'm going to change the angle so you can see me down on the floor. Take my board with me. Have a little sneaky drink along the way. And lots of those things that I do in that first sort of 10-15 minutes are a bit like the exercise snacks from last week. Things that you could do maybe in a kitchen or even in a bathroom or a bedroom. You don't have to have the special clothes on. You know, you can just do it around the house during the day. Maybe if you sat at a dining chair, doing those little squat and sit to stand types of movements just for a few minutes and then going back to whatever you were doing before. So it's a good way to break things up rather than always having to commit to half an hour or 45 minutes or whatever of movement, those little snacks. Right. Now we're getting a bit more comfy. So just checking in with your body, maybe in a different position. If you're sitting, sit right back in your chair. You might want extra cushions behind you. If you're lying down, everything's different. The support's all from behind you rather than through your feet. So just letting your body feel everything. Noticing the bits that are like, oh, I'm a bit uncomfortable, I need more wiggles. And then when you think you can settle a bit, we'll just be stiller for a moment. Maybe you close your eyes. Just let things settle. Breath be a little slower. Just noticing your breath for a moment. Letting your exhale be a little longer than your inhale. Letting your jaw soften. Your neck soften. And your shoulders just relax and soften, even if it's the tiniest amount. And then we're moving into pelvic tilts. You can keep your eyes closed. Take your breath in. And as you breathe out, we're just going to rock a little on our pelvis, tipping the pubic bone upwards, as if it's coming in the direction of your low ribs, letting your back drop down, letting your belly drop down. And then we're going to reverse that, almost so you get a little arch under your back. It depends on the shape of your back, how big or small these shapes are. If you're doing this in a sitting position, you get a lot more sensation underneath your bum, rocking off and on your sit. You can think of your muscles stretching out and your belly stretching out as you get that little arch. And then as you tip the other way, the muscles tighten here and this whole area gets shorter. And then let it go. Let your legs have a little sway side to side, maybe turn your head. Good to go the same direction, or I like opposite directions. You don't need to turn very far. And then when you come back to your beginning position, can you bring your legs in maybe just a tiny bit closer in parallel position and let the knees go out and in. I'm not letting them just fall out. They're not just flopping as far as they can. They're just doing a controlled out and in. We could even take the legs together and do that same movement. And you might even like your hands just on the sides of your thighs. Next time they're out, keep them out. Maybe not as far as you could go, just half of that. And now try a pelvic tilt in that position. Keep your hands just on your legs. They're not holding and sort of lifting your legs. They're just there, almost so your legs know where they are. Now, if you are lying on the floor, you could make this slightly bigger. Just push into your feet and just raise your hips up. It's like a little bridge, but different because your legs are in a different position. And then let your legs open and close. If you are sitting, keep it as a pelvic tilt. If you're lying and you've got a big cushion underneath your head, something really quite big and squishy, could you swap it for something smaller? Mine's quite flat. I don't want any extra pressure sort of pushing your head forwards. So we'll open and close the legs a few times. And then we're holding them in that position. So I'm always pushing my feet towards each other. Pelvic tilt first. And now pushing into the side edges of our feet. Lifting the hips. Maybe you go slightly higher. If I move my arms out the way, you can see not very high here. And then roll it back down again. And let the legs open and close. We're going to go one more time. This time, open your legs and put your arms forwards if you're sitting or up towards the ceiling, and then put the palms together so they're pushing against each other. So we've got our feet pushing against each other, the hands pushing against each other. Now we'll do a little pelvic tilt. Lift. It may feel a little wobbly. And then slowly roll it down. Take the arms down, let the legs widen a little so they're parallel again. And get that side to side feeling. You might want your arms further out to the side. Bit different that, wasn't it? And then if you're sitting, could you come to the front edge of your chair so you're not sat right at the back, just because we're going to start moving our legs and this will give your legs a bit more freedom. So in a lying down position, bring our arms either into our sides or rest your hands on your belly. We'll take a breath in. And as you breathe out, we're going to float a leg to tabletop. So you need a little bit of tension on your belly. And I'm pushing the other foot down. And then I'm going to lengthen my leg away. Bring it back to tabletop. Breathe again at any point and take it down. I just like that exhale for that initial movement. I'll show you the same on the other side, and then I'm going to demonstrate what it looks like in seated, because it looks slightly different. See, I'm taking my time with each part of the movement. Keep going. In seated, the foot's going to hover rather than be right up here, because otherwise it's awfully close to the body and there's not as much space. So I'm just going to hover, lengthen, and I'm actually touching the floor here, and then bring it back and down. You could even leave out that lifting, slide, and bring it back. So there's only one movement really. Slide and back, slide and back, or lift, extend, return and back, lift, extend, return and back. Now, next time in either position that you extend, we're going to have the foot on the floor if you're lying down or seated. Now bring your toes up towards your knees. Push the other foot down, and we're going to lift this long leg, pushing the other foot down. So it might just be a little bit if you are seated. It might be quite a lot if you're lying down. I'm just having a little look if I missed anything up there. I don't think so. So lying down, I'm pushing into this foot. My toes are towards my knees, and my thighs are roughly coming to a parallel position in between. But if it's down here, it's okay. And if you go higher, it's okay. And then take it down. Let your legs have a little side to side. You might like to lengthen that leg and just let it flop and have a little wave side to side, and then circle the ankle as well. We're going to repeat on the other side. So we're lifting up to a tabletop, maybe hovering, maybe not on the floor if you're seated. Extending away and bringing back. I'm also pushing into this leg. This leg is not relaxing. It's just still and steady. That's it. Now the next one's different. I'm going to lengthen it away. I think I'll take it down to the floor first. And now I'm going to really push the heel away, toes up towards my nose. Still got this tension here, still pushing down into this foot as well. Now I'm going to lift it up and down 4 or 5 times. I don't actually let mine touch the floor in between. You could do. I'm just going to leave it hovering. This is the last one. I'm going to bring it back, have a little side to side, and then I'm going to lengthen away. I'm going to circle the ankle round. And then bend both legs. We're going to go onto our fronts. If you are lying down, if you are seated, just stay on the front sort of third of your chair. So for lying down, we're going to go right on our bellies. I don't like any cushion underneath my head here. It's going to be a bit of a nose squisher, but I'm going to put my hands in this sort of diamond shape. So my first finger and my thumb are making a diamond shape. My elbows out to the side, and my forehead is going in that gap right down to my nose. The legs are reaching away long, and they're just a little distance apart. They're not super wide. They're not super close together. They're just in between, but they're not flopped like that. They're long and straight and pressing down to the floor. And I'm also wriggling so I can get some of my belly to sort of feel like it's almost trying to lift away from the floor rather than just completely flop downwards. Gaze is downwards. Whilst you're getting into that position, if you're seated, you're doing the same in a seated position. So I'm on a chair. I've got that diamond shape, you can see. It's just going over my eyebrows and my nose, but my forehead fits into it. And then I am going to pull my head back. My chest moves back away from it, and then let it rest in it. So my hands stay where they are. And I've just got my neck and back moving backwards, and then relaxing. You'll find your shoulders only want so much of that, and they might want to come down in between. If we're on the floor, you're already poised for action. So I've got my legs tension. I've got some tension in the belly. Everything's working. I might roll my shoulders down a little. And then I'm going to lift my head, a little bit of my chest. Hold it there. My gaze is downwards. And then I'll take it down. So we're going up and down. You could come up on maybe an out breath, but to be honest, just keep breathing in this one. Don't worry too much about the breath. If you feel that you come up and your back hurts here, I'd like you to not come up as high. You might even find that you'd benefit from a cushion just underneath this sort of groin pelvic area at the front. So you might have to just come up this high, because otherwise it's going, there's sort of like a reaction from your back and it goes, oh, like this, and it becomes quite a back strainy thing. We're not trying to work that part of the back, we're trying to go higher up. Now, could you rest your head? Put it to one side. If you're seated, your arms are going to come down. And if you're seated, could you move your legs side to side? If you're lying down, could you bend your legs, bring your heels towards your bum, and just have a little sway side to side? And then we're going to change the arm position for everybody. We're going to go more into a cactus arm or a goalpost arm. So that's what it's like lying down. If you're seated, I'd like you in this cactus arm position. I'd like you to go a little up and down in that position. So it's going to be slightly different from what you're doing on the floor, but it's working the same sort of areas. So if you're lying down on the floor, we can lift up and down. We're not going to move forwards and backwards, not yet anyway. So tension in the legs, trying to lift the belly, keeping the legs downwards. Trying to ignore a bit of cramp in my foot. The head's down, and we'll lift the arms up and down. Now I'm going to lift my head and chest, and then the arms. Place the arms down and the head down. Just like before, this low area, you don't want discomfort there. So it may be that you're happier with your head down and just the arms coming up. I'm going to lift my head. Could do one arm, then the other. Put one arm down, the other arm down, then the head. Oh, a little wiggle in between. Should we go for one more? So I'm going to lift my head and chest. One arm, then the other. Hold it. One arm down, the other arm down, head and chest down. Now put your hands somewhere that's more comfortable for you, which might be up under your head or it might be by your side. And just wiggle and sway and just ease off any tight bits. And we are then going to bring ourselves to a sitting position. So you may push yourself back and maybe have a little wiggle side to side or a little child position. Or you may be thinking, goodness, no, I don't want to do that for my knees. So you might roll onto your side and push yourself up that way so that we end in a seated position. Could you put your legs wider? I'm going to play with the feet again. Could you bring your toes towards your knees? And then can we lengthen one away and lengthen the other away? I mean the foot, not just one toe. Then bring the toes back. Bring the toes back. Now I'm going to lengthen on the other side. And the other side, they're just going off camera. And then I'll bring them back and back. And now could you circle? Or a little wave side to side if circling is not available to you. And then can we do the same with the wrists? I'm not doing mine at the same time. I'm just doing one and then the other. It doesn't matter. They're all moving. And then relax your feet and take your hands outwards and grow and wiggle a little taller, and bring your hands together and into your chest. All done. It's even a little brighter, so the brighter days are coming. The rain will stop eventually. I'm not sure if it'll stop in the next week, but it'll come. Right, I shall see you again next week. Have a good week, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you, Irene. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.